Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the 5 different leadership styles. Remember, you need to be able to identify and explain what each of these leadership styles are. You then will be asked when would be the best situations to use these specific leadership styles. And then lastly, the advantages and disadvantages of each of these styles. So let's go through each of them first. If we look at the democratic style, this is also sometimes referred to as a participative style because it's about getting everyone involved and asking for all the employees to give input so that the right decision can be made. The autocratic style, however, doesn't want everyone's input, right? The autocratic leadership style is about the leader making the decision totally on his own. We move on to what we call the Laissez-Faire style, right? And this word is a French word which literally translated means leave alone. So this type of leadership style leaves employees or subordinates to get on with the work because there's a measure of trust. We then get the charismatic leadership style. And if someone is charismatic, it means that they're charming and endearing and they inspire you to want you to do more and more. And then the last leadership style that we need to know is the transactional one. And if we look at that word transactional, it sounds like transact. Okay, so there's a transaction, there's a bit of give and take. If you do this, I will give you that. So it's a bit of a do this well and I will give you a reward for it. And I'm sure as I spoke through each of these leadership styles, you would have already identified people in your life who use these different styles. I know I'm very much in my classroom quite autocratic and authoritarian because it needs to be done this way, whereas others are far more laissez-faire. Okay, so now that we've looked at the 5 different leadership styles, we are going to delve deeper into each one and look at when to use it, and then again the advantages and disadvantages. So with the democratic style, right, group members are skilled and eager to share their ideas, right? So when you've got a team full of people who are skilled, this is a good style to use. The leader does not have all the information needed to make a decision, and employees have valuable information to contribute. We just need to think now of our president. He doesn't have all the information. He has to rely on the different departments to give him information in order to try and make the best possible decision. Cooperation is needed between the leader and the team. So there's a lot of teamwork that goes on in this democratic style. And then decisions need to be looked at from several perspectives. I've put up a picture of these 2 gentlemen who were the founders of Google, Larry Page and Sergey, and they really are democratic leaders because they've always had a very open door policy and they want to hear and get input from the employees, and they really have created a culture within Google that allows people to share their ideas. So if we look at the advantages of a democratic leadership style, the leader allows the employees to participate in the decision-making process so that the employees now feel empowered and they are positive. The staff give a variety of ideas or feedback or points of view that can lead to innovation or improved productivity. There's a clear two-way communication between the group, and this again is about a commitment towards getting the best possible final decision. The authority is delegated, which can then motivate and inspire workers to be more productive in what they do. Complex decisions can be made with inputs from specialized or skilled workers. So the disadvantages are as follows. Incorrect decisions may be made if staff is inexperienced or they don't have all the information that they need. Decision-making may be time-consuming because stakeholders have to be consulted. Employees may feel discouraged if their input is not ever considered and the decision goes against what they believed. Leaders can rely too much on the input of the followers and actually fail to make a final decision because they just have too many opinions thrown at them. It's not effective in times of crisis when quick, decisive decisions need to be taken. And some employees only pretend to participate in decision making and their feedback may not always be accurate. Now let's look at the autocratic leadership style. Remember, this leader has all the authority and makes the decisions on his or her own. They give instructions on how tasks must be executed. They're very strict with their rules, with no input from employees. So when would be the right time to use an autocratic style? Basically, you would use this style when there is a crisis. So in crisis situations, so in case of an unforeseen challenge or an accident, you need someone who is decisive, who can make decisions quickly with gathering all the information on their own. When all the information is available to solve a problem, an autocratic style is beneficial. In emergencies, when there is shortage of time, when employees are motivated and the leader has already earned the trust of the followers. When dealing with employees who are not cooperative, you need an autocratic style to take control of these employees so that they know what to expect. If we look back in our history books, we know that an autocratic leader was definitely Adolf Hitler. The advantage of an autocratic leadership styles are as follows. Quick decisions can be taken without consulting or considering your employees' inputs. Work gets done on time and on schedule. The line of command or communication is very clear as it is a top-down approach, so followers know exactly what to do. Direct supervision and strict control ensures that there's a high quality of products and services. It provides strong leadership, which makes new employees feel confident and safe because they know what they have to do. It works well in large organizations where consultation with every employee is actually not practical. Clear guidance can be given to low-skilled or inexperienced or even new staff. It's useful in a crisis situation. The disadvantages are that leaders and followers may become divided and may not agree on ways to solve problems. The workers can become demotivated if their opinions or ideas are never considered or asked. So demotivated workers means that productivity would decrease. New, creative, or cost-reducing ideas may not be implemented or ever considered. Followers may feel that they are not valued, resulting in a high absenteeism or a high staff turnover. Excellent or highly experienced workers will resist an autocratic leadership style because it results in slow growth and low participation, which then leads to less creativity. Right, now we move on to the laissez-faire leadership style. I always think it sounds as lazy, so it makes me think of someone who sits back and lets the workers do what they need to do. Employees have maximum freedom and work independently. The leader motivates the workers by trusting them to do the things on their own. The leader supports workers by providing advice and resources. Regular checking of work and feedback and style are important for this to work effectively. So when would it be a good idea to use a laissez-faire leadership style? You use this when subordinates are experts and know what they want or can take responsibility for their own actions. The leader is very busy and delegation of tasks will increase productivity. When team members need to improve or develop their own leadership skills. It's suitable when employees are highly experienced and know more about the task than the leader. So let's look at some of the advantages of this style. The workers are allowed to make decisions on their own. The subordinates have that maximum freedom and can work independently. The leader motivates the workers by trusting them to do the things themselves and on their own. The authority is delegated, which can be empowering to competent workers and then increase productivity. Subordinates are the experts and know what and when they can take responsibility. The disadvantage is that if you are left alone to do the work, there's a lack of clear direction and you may not actually know if you're on the right track. Employees can be held responsible for their own work, which may lead to underperformance because no one is checking. It could lead to conflict when some team members act as leaders and dictate to other team members. Workers are expected to solve their own conflict situations. Productivity may be compromised with a lack of tight control over workers not meeting deadlines. And lastly, productivity may be low if employees lack the necessary knowledge or skills. The picture up here is one of Warren Buffett, and he is a real laissez-faire leader because he's always believed to have expert people who can get on and do the work without him having to check in on them. Right, we're on to the fourth one now, the transactional leadership style. Remember, this is the give and take leadership style. So when do we want to use this? We want to use this when the business wants to maximize employee performance, when deadlines have to be met on short notice or when there's huge pressure. You want to use it when workers have a low morale because you want to give them a reward for achieving things. With the transactional leadership style, the leader enters into transaction with his subordinates and negotiates an agreement whereby the subordinates are to be afforded full responsibility for the tasks they receive, and they will be rewarded if it is completed successfully. So the advantages are that it encourages employees to work hard because they will receive rewards. It improves employees' productivity and morale. The goals and objectives of a business can be achieved as workers are now motivated. The employees know what is expected of them, and disciplinary actions or procedures are well communicated if they don't meet what the expectation is. The disadvantages are that employees can become bored because they have to follow rules and procedures, so there's no creativity in the workplace. A transactional leader will have to monitor the work performance of employees and ensure that expectations are met, which can be very time-consuming. Some employees may be demoralized and unmotivated if they fail to reach their targets and thereby not getting their rewards. Usually, this is not suitable for teamwork because all team members can be punished for poor performance caused by one member of the team. I'm sure you've all had it in class where a teacher says, if one of you talk again, I'll keep you all in at break. That's transactional, giving a threat or a reward for you to do something. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, is a great transactional leader. He really believes in rewarding people for the work that they have done. So he leaves them to get on with it, but he has very clear expectations of what and how it should be done. Let's look at the charismatic leadership style. Normally this style is used by politicians or religious leaders. So it's their charisma, their charm that is motivating people. And they normally are really focused on themselves. So this leadership style can be used when you want to sell a vision and achieve excellent results. When you want to motivate employees as a leader because you're energetic and you're inspiring. It inspires loyalty and hard work amongst employees too. The advantages are that they are expert at selling the vision and achieving excellent results. The employees are motivated as the leader is energizing them and inspiring them to carry on and achieve so well. It inspires loyalty and hard work amongst the employees because they have a charismatic, charming person continually motivating them. The disadvantage is that the leader believes more in him or herself than in the actual team. The projects can collapse if the leader leaves the team and is no longer there to inspire them. The leaders are very intolerant of any challenges and regard themselves as irreplaceable, that they have to be there in order for the whole team to succeed. And that's that for the 5 different leadership styles. I hope as we went through it, you were thinking of situations where you could identify these different leadership styles.